Right, we're on the clock. We're gonna do a 0 RB team this time. So second entry for the Hound Dog. We're gonna do a 0 RB team, starting with CD Lamb, and yeah, we're just gonna try to run a 0 RB. We're probably gonna go 6 to 7 running backs and 6 to 7 receivers, and then hopefully we get a double elite at the onesies, quarterback and tight end. So let's do it. All right, coming up on the second and third pick of the draft. Should be a decent range for receiver. I mean, these are 5 guys I'm fine with. I mean, if you include Devontae, I got 6 guys I'm all like A-OK taking. I haven't took a ton of digs, full disclosure there, but I will take him if he's there here. Kind of get some different exposures on this team. I like Diggs at the third round, early third round, I'm fine with. But if I don't get him, I probably will go Devonta this time. So let's see. See what our white 5 does, and we'll determine what we're going to do here. I like getting the turn picks on these because I'm able to kind of record both picks at once, and it just makes more sense to roll that way. It makes the things a little smoother. So you guys, Pittman, not a guy I like taking personally. If I was going like a balanced build, I would take like Achane, but for this build, we want to go 0 RB. And I don't mind doing these kind of experiments. It's kind of fun to do this, and I never really thought about it that much, but I think it'll be fun to experiment with teams like this where you could kind of see like in a small sample size of like how a specific draft strategy went. And there's some strategies that I'm like making up on my own too, or like trying to implement a avenue or a way to perform the strategy on my own. And we'll be doing those too, which we did on the last episode too. So 0 RB here, starting with Lamb, Evans, Diggs. Not a bad start. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the 4-5 turn. So tying in with my strategy video about Bestball Mania is like I talked about player archetypes, where I think different teams kind of could use different types of players. So right now I have really 3 guys I feel really strong about in terms of their upside, and honestly their floor too. Like they all have pretty safe, for the most part, safe floors. I feel pretty good about that. And like right now, I'm gonna definitely rip a tight end. I don't know who I want to grab. So I mean, I can't stack up anyone. I'm just gonna grab Trey McBride because I can't stack with. If Lamar's on the board, I would grab Andrews. He's not on board anymore. But now it's when I want to take a little bit of shots on guys that maybe feel a little bit less safe, but also could be high upside, like these Roma Dunze type guys, the Xavier Worthy type guys, where if I had one receiver through these first 4 rounds, then I might be more obligated to grab like a Hollywood Brown or a Keenan Allen type guy. So Pacheco's a guy I kind of like taking on these types of builds, but I definitely don't have to. You can also go Terry and work with like a backstacked guy. Let's go Terry McLaurin. Another guy I think is pretty efficiently priced, but I think that offense has a ton of upside. Washington, he should be the clear number 1. I mean, there's really no one else that could really contest that. They have 2 rookies. I don't think any of them are going to push him for the number 1 target. And obviously Daniels was pretty efficient in college this last year. So I think it just seems like a good bet to make. And I got to make sure I stay on the right track and not. I was about to grab Pacheco, but I have another strategy that would involve me probably take Pacheco there. So 4 receivers through 5 rounds. Got Trey McBride as my tight end. So let's keep rolling. All right. So like I mentioned a little bit ago, I definitely have some guys here that make sense for this build to add on from my last couple of pieces. So I'm really hoping these 2 rookies fall to me here. Looks like I'm going to get 1 for sure. If I get both, I'm very happy. Obviously, I got both. Sick. Feels good there. So I got Rome and Brian Thomas. Oh, just kidding. I didn't get both. I forgot I wasn't on the turn, but maybe I'll get both. We'll see. Either way, I feel pretty good about that. We got Kyler here too if we want to go stack up him there. If I get BT, I'm just going to take Brian Thomas. If not, I'll take Kyler. But yeah, whoopsies. I was pretty confident. I was like, oh, I'm going to take Rome and Brian Thomas, but that's fine. We don't need both. JSN was a guy I was pretty tempted on too there. This guy seems to be picking kind of whatever he wants. So he might not go Brian Thomas Jr. unless he gets auto picked here. Nice. Yeah, I'll take Brian Thomas. JMO at 73. Wow. You know, this in to be clear, this is a time box contest, so I really like doing like trying new strategies where like maybe there's a better window to do a 0 RB team when, you know, more like a best ball mania when more running back twos are solidified. But right now, this isn't this contest is going to close like today, honestly, probably maybe tomorrow. So it just opened today, and I think it'll probably close today or tomorrow. So I'm not going to have to worry about people having all this information edge on me. So I like kind of jumping in and trying 5 strategies right here where I'll just, you know, whatever happens. And I'm not going to really worry about some running back 2 being a smash down the stretch where he might not even be drafted in, you know, a small percentage of this draft, if anything, in this contest. So yeah, six receivers, maybe going one more max. But yeah, really good archetypes here. We got 4 guys that feel like good target earners on their teams and probably decent high volume places for them respectively. And then 2 high upside shots on Roman, Brian Thomas at pretty good prices. You know, compared to draft capital, they're in a better draft capital and range compared to like the Keon Coleman and Worthies and Lad McConkeys of the world. But at the same time, those guys have a better, you know, path to early season production. So, but makes sense on this team to grab those guys that may be a little bit more risky early season wise on a team you already have 4 receivers. So fun start. So 6 receivers, 1 tight end, and coming up on our 8th and 9th pick. All right, so Dak, a little bit past ADP. I mean, he does fall a lot when you have Lamb, but I feel like someone's going to take him otherwise. But I don't really need anything specific here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab Dak. And then my first running back probably makes sense here because I have 2 other guys I could easily stack with my pieces. So I'm going to go with a running back. I just don't know who I want specifically. We could do the early start of James Conner. I mean, I don't hate that. I don't take a lot of James Conner, so I wouldn't be opposed to it. We already have a bet on Arizona with Trey McBride. This guy went Benson already, so maybe I will go Conner here. Truth be told, he's not a guy I like taking a lot, but I'll go for it. Okay, he takes both. What in the world? All right, well, I could go Caleb. Let's go B-Rob. I want a couple shots at these running backs because this is a good range of running back. This like Edwards, Spears, Singletary, Javonte room. And Pollard actually has been falling a lot, but that's fine. I wanted Spears anyways, so I'm fine missing out on Pollard there. I think they both could be good values. Even if they're pass-heavy offense, I think Pollard and Spears could be great. But I would say, I mean, Spears makes more sense for like the pass-catching type guy. So Daniels goes early, a little bit early, unfortunately. I was hoping he could just like sneak back to me. Did not. So that doesn't really limit me too much because I still have Caleb and T-Law and Baker attainable, which is really nice about this team is like I kind of set it up so I could be backstacked, not on purpose, but when it does, you should think about that. If you're like, oh, probably shouldn't take guys that already have their quarterbacks taken if I want to have a backstack option. And like right now, I still have a few viable options with Baker and T-Law and Caleb. So I was hoping I could get Daniels back, but not bad still. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that sucks. I was going to be like, all right, I'm going to take T-Law because this guy's kind of a wild card, but then I got sniped on T-Law. So never mind then. Let's go ahead and grab Gus then. Get our running back. Get another running back in. See, like, Gus is the type of guy I like on a 0 RB build, but I don't like him if I have like Breece Hall already. Where it's like, if I have Breece Hall and Jalen Warren and Gus Edwards, like, how often is Gus Edwards going to be in my lineup unless Breece is hurt or something? And at that point, I'm probably already done. So I kind of like to take him specifically on 0 RB builds. It just makes more sense for me. Rico's definitely on the table here. But no, we're not doing Rico. Never mind. Sorry. Probably Corum if I can get him. Like I said, this guy's just been vibing. So hopefully he just grabs Eckler. He has a really weird running back room. This is what I'm talking about on my last video. My 10 heavy running back build, like this is the type of stuff that people will do. So grab CMC and then they won't stop grabbing running backs, and that could be a problem. We'll see if he stops, but I feel like he will continue to grab too many running backs. But what do I know? So Corum as my third running back. I would have loved to get Tajay instead, but I mean I would have just loved to get T-Law. I don't really know. Did he have Kirk, or he just grabs him? Okay, I mean he has Kirk and Ingram, so fair enough. I mean I guess I shouldn't have expected him to go for him, but I wish he would have not realized I was gonna go take T-Law. So fair enough. He has him stacked. I'm not gonna complain about that, but he went 2-2, so that's pretty fun. T-Law is a fun build there. But all right, going to 12-13 turn. I like the team so far. I definitely feel like I've gotten good archetypes in the right spots, and I think that's a big edge this year, is just picking players and kind of like trying to get a small read, because we don't know everything, and we will find out quickly that we don't know everything. But having like a little bit of a read of like what type of player this is and like how their production is weighted towards the beginning or towards the end or towards the middle, or how you think it's weighted, I think it's valuable information to think about in terms of like, okay, this guy might be better off in the last 4 weeks than he is in the first 10, but I have guys that should be ready to go out of the gate, and I can kind of pair those together instead of pairing like, hey, I'm going to pair guys that all look good early and could fall off towards the end. It's not a good mix, because you need that power at the end of the season. Barring injuries, you can't control those. So, all right, these top 3 running backs. I like these top 3 running backs a lot. So I'm gonna grab. Who do I want more of these 2 running backs? Probably Kendra. Yeah, I like all these guys a ton. Like I wish I had 4 picks right now. Just get them all. But I would like Chandler makes probably more sense just to have like probably more secure volume. Wright is probably the guy odd man out here, because I really don't feel good about his volume unless Achane is hurt or Mostert's hurt. Whereas Lloyd and Chandler feel like guys that are going to get touches regardless. So I'm going Lloyd here. Unless he's taken, then I'll grab Chandler. But good with either of those guys here. Definitely fell in a good pocket of guys I like. I mean, sometimes you miss this whole tier and they're all gone by the time you even go up. So I like getting at least two bites of this apple of just grabbing like 2 of Lloyd, Wright, Chandler, and Kendra. Like it's a range I really, really like. And Rico's in that tier as well. But we'll grab Marshawn Lloyd, guy I don't mind taking. And I love getting them to be spread out bye week wise. So that's like I'm as strong as possible, where I have as many running back shots as I can in every week. So it's not like every week, every couple of weeks I got two guys down in an already thin running back room. I think it's nice to just have like, okay, I have B-Rob down, but I got 4 other guys alive here playing, assuming health. Then it's just a better feeling. Not a big deal, but you probably don't, if you're going 0 RB, you don't want to have too many overlapping running back bye weeks. It does add up points wise. You're going to lose like a few points every week if you do that. So Baker should be back to me pretty easily. And then another decent range of running back here that I like all 5 of those as well, with Bucky for sure included. And maybe Chuba is a good pick. I mean, I should think about that in terms of like Jonathan Brooks coming back, but I feel pretty confident like he is, assuming health, he's going to be good down the stretch. And that's what I care about. Whereas like if anything, Chuba might just like have more work early. But I guess you never know. Injuries can happen, and he's probably the clear number 2. I don't think Sanders is really in the picture in the Panthers backfield, but he'll probably get a touch or 2. So was going to go Baker. He also got sniped, unfortunately, but I think I'm going to roll this way. I'm going to go Bucky and then hopefully get the tight end I want. This guy, just don't take my tight end, please. So he is doing pretty good with the draft capital. Sorry about that, bro. You're cooking. Please don't take my tight end. I mean, I like Baker on this team. I would have loved to have Baker, but it's not going to work out. So I got Bucky Irving, another guy I like taking. And now I can get Juwan as my second tight end. Feels good to have him. Should have some touchdown upside this year with good old Jimmy Graham out of there. So, yeah, as long as I get Carr, I feel fine. I mean, it's not my favorite 2 quarterback build. Like, it might be worth grabbing a third just to have a third guy. But I just don't know. I don't have anything to stack with. I could pivot and go like I could go a 2-7-7-2 build or a 3-6-7-2 build if I want. And I can like single stack May. I don't hate that idea. Just have a little bit extra upside. But I mean, I need CD Lamb to be good, so I basically need Dak to be good. So it might not matter. But it's on the menu because these 6 running backs are definitely enough. I don't need more. But I don't know. I'll have to think about what I want to do here because it could definitely be sketchy. Also, definitely worth taking a shot on. Like I said, these guys in a draft that is going to close soon. I think taking a shot on these guys that might not be drafted all the time that could easily be the number 2 makes sense. Tyron Tracy could easily just be like the Dwayne McBride of this year, where he just doesn't touch the field. So worth taking some shots on Eric Gray. I'll probably be starting to hammer him in a little bit because I've been pretty high on Tracy and probably should not be. All right, I'm still undecided about how I want to finish this to close this team out. I think definitely 2 tight end because McBride, I made a big bet on him. He's early. I think 3 quarterback does make sense here. But I also want more shots at running back. So it's kind of a tough decision. I'm definitely grabbing Carr here. And then I could either go 2 running back and stop, or I can go 1 receiver, 1 quarterback and stop there. So I don't. So Carr is just like, I 100% need to take Carr here. There's no guarantee I get May coming back anyway. So we'll grab Carr first. Oh, it's hard to say what I want to do here. I think taking 2 shots on like Ali and Eric Gray are pretty fun, but probably make more sense on like an anchor build or like a a heavier running back build where a guy like this makes more sense. A guy like this could really hurt me if they end up being a 0 if I grab too many of them. So maybe I just go Eric Gray only, and I grab like Foreman or Pierce as my other guy. Definitely feel fine at receiver. I don't think I need to worry about it. I'm just a little worried about quarterback, and rightfully so. Yeah, let's grab Foreman. I think a guy that I should have touches early, and then maybe maybe he even takes Ford's job. I don't know, but he always like has a game or 2 like every year. So that would be good for this build. So we're kind of off. I mean, we could just grab an unstacked like Bryce Young. Don't hate it, but at this point, it probably isn't worth grabbing another one of those guys. But yeah, I don't think it in this kind of build, it really would be hurt. Like it would hurt me a lot if I take Eric Gray and Rasheen Ali, even with the ownership discount I get on them. It could be really bad if I end up with 2 zeros there on a 0 RB build. Like that could be bad. Like I get 2 zeros and then like maybe Bucky Irving's a 0, surprisingly, and then like I'm looking at 5 guys every week that are pretty thin already. That could be sketchy. So don't want to take too many potential 0 risks, but I like having the ownership discount on Eric Gray if he's going to be low owned, and he probably will be in this contest of 18 rounds. So we'll roll that route and end with Eric Gray, hopefully, if he's available. I'll go Ali if he's not. Yeah, Derek Carr, Prescott at quarterback. 2 guys I mean, feel pretty job security wise, they're definitely fine. Not what I wanted to do. Like I was really hoping to get T-Law. Like T-Law, Prescott makes a lot more sense than Prescott Carr, but I got sniped a couple rounds before that, and I got sniped on Baker too, which felt better than Carr. But that's what happens, man. You gotta be adaptable in these rooms and try different things. So last pick coming up, and then we'll see if I could have got Drake May. I mean, I could have grabbed Drake May there and then gone just Douglas or something, or Bourne, but we'll see if he's still there. Kind of see if my decisions would have been open, but I think a pure 0 RB build is either 2-6-6 or like a 2-3-6-7-2 or a 2-7-7-2 or a 2-8-6-2 is like the pure 0 RB in my opinion. You could even go like 2-9-5-2, I guess. I mean, that's crazy talk, but Drake May did go, so I might not have got him anyways if I was going like Baker there. But I got Eric Gray, last guy. Could be running back 2. I mean, like Singletary gets hurt, Eric Gray and Tracy are on the menu there. So, I mean, who knows? But I think it makes some sense to go that route. Let's just pull up the team here. Where is it? There it is. All right, so Hound Dog number 2, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Brian Robinson, Gus Edwards, Blake Corum, Kendra Miller, Marshawn Lloyd, Bucky Irving, Deontay Foreman, Eric Gray, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs, Terry McLaurin, Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas, Trey McBride, and Jawan Johnson as the squad. So a 0RB, pure 0RB build. Not quarterback feels a little sketchy. I mean, I would love to get T-Law and like replace one of these guys with T-Law and then got more running back. Hopefully solid running backs, but I feel running back is definitely strong enough to make it work. And then really need Dak to have a big season with Lamb, which I already bet on it to begin with. So hopefully Carr is like replaceable and he's fine, or like, you know, he gets the job done in week 7 and, you know, it doesn't hurt me having him as my second quarterback. But that is my biggest worry about this team. But receiver wise, I feel pretty strong, like 4 guys with a lot of volume and 2 guys with massive upside. So it feels good to get that to fall to me and get those like archetypes perfectly laid out. So fun team. Definitely a 0RB build that I feel good about. Not my favorite one I've built so far, but definitely one I like and makes sense for this contest, and also just makes sense in the building. I built it in a way that makes sense, and yeah, only thing I would want back is that my second quarterback would be a little better, but do feel good about this. And yeah, like I said, I'll be going through these contests, especially these 5 Hound Dogs, and we'll be talking about them throughout the season and how they're doing. But I'll be talking about my whole portfolio and how I do, and be transparent. If I do great, do bad. If I made a bunch of mistakes, I always am transparent about that and talk about my lessons like every year, and I write them down, and I try to make sure I'm transparent. I'm not gonna, lie about it. Like if I have a bad year, I'll have a bad year. I had a good year last year. It wasn't amazing. I didn't 10x or something, but I did good. And hope is to continue to do good. But not every year is going to be great. That's just the way it is with these type of contests. Like you're not going to do good every year, but you just hope that once you hit one year, you can capitalize to make your, either make your whole best ball career or situation profitable, or at least just like you hit one year, you have a really good year, and then like you could just play out those winnings for a while and not have to re-up your bankroll or anything like that. So that's what I hope I can do, is like be able to win a couple tournaments, win a couple of contests, and be able to hold my bankroll through and continue to play out in best ball with that. That'd be amazing. That's my goal for sure. But we're working towards it. Obviously we need a little bit of luck. We need a lot of volume, and we don't need a lot of volume, but it helps to have volume, and try to do as much as I can, but also trying to make sure my entries count and not autopiloting too much, because I think that's one mistake I made last year's. And I think most people do. If they're doing volume drafts, they're going to autopilot. But I think trying to think about what you're doing in a smart way, which I think is kind of nice with what I'm doing on these series, is slowing it down, thinking about my format of my team and the players I'm getting and the type of players I'm getting, and really being thoughtful about the entries you're putting in. And sometimes you just want to rip and have some fun and not really think about it, and that's fine. I enjoyed like doing that on the puppies or whatever, but really on these contests, you just really want to try to make every entry count. And whether that means thinking of new strategies or just really like trying to dial in your structures, I think that's a big thing to do. And one thing I'm going to try to focus on this year is I'm going to have some autopilot drafts, I'm sure, where I just like kind of just go on, autopilot, and I'm doing what I always do. But I'm going to try to at least challenge my mind to do different things. And that's what helps me a lot. When I'm really dialed in, I feel like I'm a much better drafter. But sometimes I'll make a lot of mistakes and be like, oh, why didn't I get any correlation, just because I'm clicking guys I like instead of trying to focus on correlation while clicking guys I like. And, sometimes you miss one piece, and yeah, there's a lot to do in best ball, and it's easy to miss one step that could kind of hurt your team. But that's the beauty in it. It's not easy to be good at it. But it is a challenge, and it's fun to try new things. That's what my favorite part is: try new strategies and try new ideas, and try to make it work. And sometimes it turns into something beautiful. Sometimes it turns into something really ugly that sometimes it pays off. Sometimes the teams you thought were going to be bad are good. So anyways, enough rambling. Appreciate you guys watching this. Hound Dog 0 RB strategy. Feels like a fun team. We'll be talking over these throughout the season and the off season. So see you guys next time. Peace out. Have a good one.